Lovely, Johnny, just tricked you there. Look at 7. That's got to be reviewed, especially on the Perfectdraft Pro. And it's quite a heavy, especially when I want to whistle. Oh, Jesus. Good afternoon, people. It's us two again. Right, so what we're doing now, Stella Unfiltered, because I don't know.
Yeah,
but
Stella's
it's
been
Stella
about a bit,
Unfiltered.
isn't it? So let's try that.
And we're going to do it because it's 5% ABV.
Yep.
Against
Staropramen, I believe.
Staropramen.
That's the pronunciation.
Don't have a glass. We did have a glass for this, didn't we? But I don't know, maybe a few years ago. Anyway, that's unfiltered as well. Now we picked this up on our northern trip, didn't we?
We did.
About November last year, and yeah, we haven't. You can tell. I'm not even going to go there on that. You can tell there's a good date on it. I'll give Booths that. You can tell they care.
Yeah.
But yeah, that came from Booths in Blackpool or Preston. One of them.
It was around that way.
One of them that we ventured into, as I say. And I always thought, well, we can do that with the Stella Unfiltered. But due to everything going on, we've never actually got back round to the Stella Unfiltered. I've finally loaded it up. We've had a bit of space in the machine.
At last, yes. So
Machine, sorry.
So
I blame Michelle.
Here we go. We're going to see how these two compare.
Yeah, right. I'll get this poured. This might be a classic pour, remember, because
First one out the keg.
it's the first one out the keg, and I haven't done with tricks. God, look, it says -1. Blimey.
-1, you want to hope it's not frozen.
It's meant to be set on. It's set on 3, but the actual keg's saying -1 out of the Perfectdraft Pro at the moment, people.
Oh my goodness.
I've seen
It's pouring.
It's pouring lovely. Blimey, mate. -1. Ooh.
Fun says how cold it is out, doesn't it?
It's not as cold as it was, wasn't it? We've got a decent enough pour here. I don't know what to say here, people. That doesn't feel -1. Actually, it does feel quite cold.
Yeah.
So we'll try and. Oh, look at all the bits.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a whole load of sediment come out at the bottom of that bottle. So there we go.
Right, yeah, let's try and get you a picture. I won't try and show you the. At least I got my phone this time. The last review, I had to leg it and get my phone, didn't I? It's on a bad time, I think, there, wasn't I? Right, let's get a quick shot. Rather than take all day. Camera, hold on. It's my hands, it's cold. Oh, God. Okay. Take selfie, record video. Well, what about my camera? Oh, dear. Should be getting in the mood in a minute. You have to have them bottles straight, you see. That's it, all done. Better later than never. Oh, dear. And the machine
Take your
says.
time, got all day, dear.
Have you? Blimey, I haven't at this rate.
Right, okay. I'm getting a distinctly funny smell from this one. It's massively kind of wheaty.
Someone said that compares. I've never had this one before. I've had obviously the standard one. We've drank that in England. It's not as good as it used to be over here. We've also drank it in Prague a few times, as well as Budapest. We were drinking them out the cans that were lovely.
Yeah.
The cans from there, not from here, obviously. And I've never. Well, I don't think I've ever drunk
Sort
it.
of a really wheaty, yeasty kind of smell coming from that.
Yeah. It's a real prominent.
Yeah, it's really prominent aroma from that one.
It makes that smell fruity. It's weird after that to that one.
God, yeah.
It actually smells.
Wow, the Stella Unfiltered really smells quite juicy and fruity, doesn't it, in comparison? Okay.
I would never have thought that about them two. Both unfiltered beers, both at 5%. Let's see what we get. Otherwise, we're going to be here all day.
Okay, let's
I'll go along after you. That's about the best we can do there. You know that this is a winner. And this is cold. This has come straight out of the fridge, but it don't feel no colder than that that's saying -1.
Yeah. That really does have a distinct kind of bready, malty kind of taste to it that does follow on quite well from the aroma.
And it does have a kind of like a somewhat bitterness, isn't it, on the end?
Yeah, yeah, I'd agree with that.
And the bitterness is working. But that's one of them.
Got quite a medium body to it as well.
That's a decent beer, though, isn't it?
That does. That tastes good.
Is that brewed in England or Prague? I can't read it. I think it's brewed here. I don't know. It's a bit too much for me. Look, on the back, I don't think you'll be able to read it either.
No, I'm not going to be able to see that. The carbonation on this is quite mild. You're getting quite a smooth mouthfeel to it. It does feel quite thick in your mouth.
But even in the weather not being good here, these are the type of beers, and I've always remained the same. You drink them cold. I don't know about that one. It still feels kind of cold here, doesn't it? I'll let you go first.
Okay.
And I have been a huge fan of Stella Unfiltered. I must admit, the last time I had a keg of it, I wasn't over impressed.
Those two bounce off each other. That is highlighting the fruit flavours. There's a nice bit of citrus kind of kick that's coming out in the middle of this.
And again, that's a lovely Pilsner bite at the end.
Yep.
So for me,
you've got that maltiness at the beginning. I'm getting a nice bit of citrus in the middle. And then, like you say, it is rounded off by a slight bitterness at the end. And both of them do have quite a full mouthfeel to them. They don't feel watery in the slightest. I mean, I don't know if you saw on camera, but there was a nice bit of sediment that come out of this one.
Some of it, well, that's small.
And it's really giving it quite a nice full mouthfeel to it.
They're both pretty impressive, aren't they?
They are,
if I'm honest here. I'm looking and I'm thinking...
Considering we stood here and it was really cold in here, and these beers are really, really cold, because I do actually like these served really nice and chilled.
Well, I wasn't sure.
You, don't you?
Yeah. With a Stella Unfiltered after last time, because I said to her, well, you've got that one to drink, you've got that one to drink. John's got that one. I said, if I don't like this one, I'm in a bit of a problem here, haven't I? But
and though that's standing up and being delivered, I think what's really putting us off is sometimes you can have a bad pint somewhere, which we did at an airport. We had a really bad pint of Stella Unfiltered.
I don't think it was Stella Unfiltered.
It kind of tasted like the slops, actually, for me, to be fair. It was really unpleasant.
It come out the pump because I watched her pouring it, but it was rough. And when I say it was rough. It wasn't good.
And I think that's kind of held in our mind, and it's kind of put us off putting this keg in. But thankfully, now that you poured this and I'm tasting it, I'm especially up against this one.
Yeah,
they are really bouncing nicely off each other.
And I'm drinking that after that. That's got more of a fruitiness than it had the first time around, but it's still got a lovely bitterness at the end. And it's not a bitterness that's harsh with either of them. It's a bitterness that it should be like, you know. It's
almost a little bit of lemon zest I'm picking up from this now.
Which I didn't get.
I didn't get it on the first taste, no. These two have really bounced nicely off each other.
They're both crackers, aren't they? I mean, Stella Unfiltered, as I say, I think I scored it something like 9 out of 10. I remember we got it on release date.
And it was wonderful.
And it was like, wow. And then we'd had it again, hadn't we? Again, it was absolutely brilliant. And the next time we had it, I think it was the third or fourth time, we wasn't that taken in with it, to be honest. But
maybe a little bit of an off keg or a little bit of an iffy keg, maybe.
That is delivered.
That really does taste good. That's how I remember it tasting. That's that really lovely, pleasant, nice, unfiltered taste where it's a little bit fuller in your mouth.
I've always said the Unfiltered puts the standard Stella way to bed before the mix match with the wherever it's being brewed. That's irrelevant.
That's on the keg, not on the bottles that you get from the supermarket. Unfortunately, they don't taste particularly good in my opinion.
Do you know what? I could drink these all the way down, gab along with you lot, bore you senseless, and I would not be able to pick one.
Slightly different. I'm getting a more kind of a lemony zestiness from this, with that lovely kind of wheatiness, breadiness to it. This one, a little bit more malt, a little bit more...
Yeah, I could go along with that, but I still couldn't choose. I couldn't choose one of the two.
Maybe a little bit, it's almost like a tangerine kind of effect. Not quite as lemony as this one, but I tell you what, the two of them together, bouncing off each other very good.
That's brilliant. Like I say, I don't recall ever having that one. I'd seen it on social media over the time.
Yeah,
here,
I
there and
don't
everywhere.
recall having
Obviously, we know the
unfiltered.
original.
Yeah.
Like I say, we've been to Prague a few times, haven't we?
Mm.
But there's so many selections, and when we used to go to Prague, we haven't been for a few years. We were so peeved. We don't know what we were drinking half the time, anyway.
Sometimes.
If I'm honest, you know. And then obviously, when we went to Budapest, rather than the local lager, we'd always drink the Czech lager because it was cheap enough there as well, because it's only down the road, isn't it? And obviously, it was cheap, so we'd drink that a lot there, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Rather than that bloody Drecker.
Yeah, it was nice, wasn't it?
Me and Drecker, it's just a no. I just couldn't call this.
I can't pick between them. Both very, very good.
Stella, I'm so glad that it's back with us, because I
Yeah.
wasn't sure if I was going to lose this keg. I was a little bit worried, shall we say, but that's delivered.
Got a little bit of a mental block from that bad pint, I think. And this has just kind of put that to bed now, because this does taste lovely.
Yeah, it didn't help. So we had a keg that we weren't that keen on, and then we had a pint of it at the airport, and it was just... I actually struggled. I couldn't find a flower pot
to fit into
chuck
it.
it
Was
in.
that bad?
It was that bad. This is just a double yes, I think, rather than go on all
Yeah.
the way through.
I'm in total agreement with him there.
It's a double yes. Wow, what's wrong with you?
I
You
know.
all right? Right, thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bonjour.